Hello YouTubers, hello Chilios2222 here. We're taking a look at what I believe is an 1849. This is an original Colt pocket pistol. This was a 31 caliber. You can actually see this firearm is clear. There is no powder in it, no percussion caps, no ball, nothing of the sort. It has been previously cleared. So this fired a 31 caliber ball, to my understanding. It is marked Colt's patent. If you can see that there right below the cylinder. And then on the top of the barrel, you have address, which I believe is Colonel Sam. I'm not sure what the little L means. It looks like an L to me. Samuel, I guess. Maybe that's short for. That would make sense. Colt, New York, New-York, U.S., America. So I'm thinking this is an 1849. Maybe some experts out there can weigh in on this. I think the 49 had this cut that was located on the right side of the handgun right here, which allowed you to emplace your percussion caps. From watching Hickok 45, I think he's got the same pistol. His looks like it's in better shape, or it's been cleaned up. Again, this is an original. As far as I can tell, if it is a repro, that would be a pretty good job that they did. But the source that I got it from was a collection. This has a serial number of 241048. I mean, as best I can make out. I think there's something else on the bottom there. Not really sure what that marking is exactly. And then I noticed too maybe a marking on the cylinder on these. Take a look at that. Not really sure where that was. You can rotate the cylinder. You can see mine has a pretty good beating on it, but you've got a number on the top there too. So if you're looking for one of these and you have a question as to is it original, you should be able really to tell by looking at it. If it's kind of looks like it's in this condition, I would think this would be like your average condition, unless you had a really super exemplary model. As far as the clicks go, you've got one click there, and then you have a second click, and that's what lines up everything for you there. The rod in the front, the ramrod, you just kind of push in on those tabs there. You can kind of see that. You can see that little tab there. You can see that's worn also. All the parts that are used are obviously worn. So you push in on this little guy, and then you've got your ramrod that lines up. From my understanding, this little wedge here, and from watching a video of people do it, this can come out and you can disassemble everything, like the barrel piece slides off. I have never fired this handgun. I don't plan to. I think it's just kind of a cool collector. I'll give you a little bit better overview of it there. Wanted to show you close up exactly, how these firearms look. So then there you can see the number on the cylinder again, and that cutout. Really cool little handgun. They've got some heft to them, really. I'm not sure exactly how much these weighed, but it does feel like it's got a decent weight to it. You would definitely feel this in your pocket. And they're not super big. I can show you next to like a Sharpie. That's just one of your regular, that's a Bic Bright Liner, which is about the size of a pen. And you can see what the size of that handgun was there. So yeah, I figured I'd show you that, YouTubers. Chilios 2222. If you like these type of videos, please please subscribe. It keeps me going, and I'll find some more interesting things for you here. But I figured you might like to see an original, without a doubt, Colt. And again, it's a 31 caliber. I'd like to get some repros, and I have actually some more modern versions of the single action Cowboys, but they fire an actual cartridge, a complete cartridge. This was, the cartridge that you basically assemble in here. You have your ball, then your powder, and then your primer all together, and then they pack like a little wad to hold in the powder, I guess, and I guess pressure on the powder just keeps it up against there. But what would happen with these, if you're not familiar, is when you were loading this, you can load it from the front there, and you can actually put your powder in, you pour it in, and then you would put your little piece of felt there, I believe, which would just stop that powder from pouring out. And then you would put the ball in there, and then once you got it in there, once you got them all in there, I'm not sure exactly if you want to do it singly, but you can you line this up, and then you'll see, basically you can see where the ramrod goes, and I'm using the front of this piece. It was nice that it had it in here, because you didn't have to use a separate tool to ram it in there as they originally had with firearms. It was actually a separate rod that you would just push down, and that's what's going to seat the ball against the powder, and I guess that gives you the pressure against the powder, and it also keeps it away from the rotating piece here, because if the ball was sticking out too far, obviously it would get caught on there and wouldn't rotate. So yeah, you'd pack that in there, and then once you get them all packed in here, it's kind of a laborious process to get your 5 rounds, I believe, is what these hold. You can then put this on the little notch, which was kind of a de facto, if that's the right term, safety, or makeshift safety maybe is a better word. And then you can put your, through this little slot here on this side, you can actually slide on the primer, and then you would have to, percussion cap rather, and then you would have to rotate this around to the next one, and you would slide that on there. So just, I guess, being careful to go past those. You would place all those on, hopefully keeping your hand away, holding the revolver maybe pointed down, I would assume. I've heard different stories, like point them down, point them up, but I think I would just keep this pointed down towards the ground as I put those on there, and rotated this around. But maybe some of you black powder aficionados can comment on what the safest way to do that would be. But again, safety, if you're using one of these, I'm not going to fire this because I am safety conscious, and not that it would explode or anything, and I know it's relatively low powered, but very cool handgun. Again, I believe that's the 1849, but I could stand corrected on that. And that is an original Colt, as evidenced by this this marking up top, which is upside down, but give you a right side up on there. And this is address of Colonel Sam. Wonder if he put the UE in there. Colt, New York, U.S., America. Chilios 2222. Thank you, YouTubers, for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, night, and morning.